This is He Knows the Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, y'all. Happy holidays to everyone. But hear me and hear me. Well, I told you guys, man. I keep trying to tell everybody, man. Now, and the prediction king strikes again. And the prediction king strikes again. I told you guys, man. He Knows the Sport is bringing that what? That heat and that fire. And keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. And keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. Told you, man. Terence Crawford is a Chihuahua barking behind the damn fence. Let me say it again. A Chihuahua barking behind the damn fence. I mean, this is classic dope and troglodytisms. Rudy Poo and Plum Plum brainisms. I told you guys, man. Boxers, trainers, you name it, can be ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Terence Crawford needs to stop clout chasing Earl the True Spence. And he needs to start doing some heavyweight lifting at the welterweight division. It's really that simple, folks. If you don't fight Shawn Porter, you Bud Man fans, you Terence Crawford fanboy man crushers, y'all need to hold his foot to the fire. Let me say it again. If Terence Crawford doesn't fight Shawn Porter, y'all need to keep that same energy. Let me say it again. Keep that same energy, dog. And y'all gonna have to start getting on Terence Crawford. Because if he's supposedly the boogeyman, right, then why is he on witness protection AWOL status when he's being called out by upper echelon of the welterweight division? Shawn Porter is an upper echelon, an uber echelon of the welterweight division, and he's calling out Terence Crawford. And instead of Terence Crawford doing one of these, you see him going, barking like a Chihuahua behind the fence. What is this? We're not going to take that fight, and please don't mention his name. Let me say it again. We're not going to take that fight, and please don't mention his name. You begged the interviewer to not mention Shawn Porter's name. I told you guys, man. I told you this was Bud Fraud. Not Bud Crawford, but Bud Crawford. Because why are you not doing litmus tests? Because it's clear, Bob Arum. Terence Crawford knows this about himself, too, and Bomac. They know they will be exposed on so many levels, on so many epic proportions and so many epic magnitudes. And they don't want to take a fight that's going to expose them in this variation, in this facet. So we got to call a spade here, dog. We got to keep that thing real. And we got to keep it 100, dog, and keep it a buck. Terence Crawford does not want any free smoke or fade from the upper echelon of the welterweight division. It's that simple. And he knows his sport. How long have I been saying this, man? I told you got these fake-ass Earl the True Spence fans. Can't come back. Once you cross that pond, young lad, you can't come back. Because let me tell you something. When you were on the side of the Spence side, that was the right side of history, dog. That was the cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling side. Because Spence is authentic and consistent. That's what he is. Cats getting on Earl the True Spence, turning against Earl the True Spence, you can't come back. Now that Earl the True Spence is back and you understood what he meant to the welterweight division, because like I said, you know, I got to keep patting myself, dog, because he knows the sport is always on the thumb and the needle of situations, man. I told you guys the welterweight division was going to go into a standstill. The welterweight division was going to go into basically the most exciting to the most boring division in boxing, because these guys don't want to fight each other, man. So Terence Crawford is ducking Shawn Porter. That should be coming out of reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panderers. If you have a pandering narrative and it has completely fallen and it has completely tumbled down, you're out with the truth, dog. Let me say it again. Remember what I told you guys about pandering narratives? They have a ceiling cap. Once they hit the cap, guess what? The law of gravity. They got to come tumbling down, dog. So the truth of the fact of the matter is, the pandering narrative needs to come tumbling down, and you guys need to start telling the truth. Because let me tell you something about the truth. It hurts, but guess what? It will set you free. Let me say it again. The truth hurts, but it will set you free. And at least you will be free from the prison of a shaky ground of pandering. And now you will be on a solid foundation of what we call truth telling. I understand this to be true because I'm the ultimate truth teller, and I always come in truth telling fashion. I told you guys, the truth will always have its day. It's really that simple. And what you guys are learning is Terence Crawford, Bob Arum, and Bomac want to come out of the bed, not even brush their teeth, which is, let me say it again, not even brush their teeth, which is, and then go into the super fight and try to fight Earl the True Spence, while Earl the True Spence himself is telling you he doesn't want a tune-up. Now, I don't agree with that. And I'm the biggest Earl the True Spence fan there is. But I could argue that down with anybody. I understand where Earl the True Spence is coming from. I understand his vernacular. And I understand, you know what I'm saying, how he's feeling. But I want to see him test his engine, dog, and test his cylinders. If I was in his camp, I would tell him that, look, man, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You want to fight the best. It is what it is. You feeling good. You want to continue on. But here's the thing. We need to test the engine and make sure all of the cylinders are firing and clicking. So I would tell him fight an IBF mandatory a la, you know what I'm saying, Kudatril of Dudakorov. Fight somebody like that. And then see where you at, obliterate his ass, and then fight a Danny Garcia, a Manny Pacquiao, or Terence Crawford. You want to fight either one of them next. Now we know you clicking on all cylinders. That's what I would tell him. See, he knows the sport keeps that same energy, dog. Let me say it again. I can't tell people. I can't be one of the authors like Earl the True Spencer saying keep that same energy, and I don't keep the same energy, dog. I'm the master of keeping the same energy. So you see, I can, a guy that I support, the guy who is my favorite fighter, I can tell him, no, it's not your time, dog. You're going to have to chill. Stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Even I can say that. Because I don't want to see that for Earl the True Spence, because he just came out of a serious car crash. You know what I'm saying? PTSD is associated with that. Things like that are associated. So we need to make sure you're right. You could say that you're right, but we need to make sure that when you step into the ring, all your activities, everything's firing on all cylinders. So a tune-up wouldn't be a bad idea. See? He knows the sport keeps that same energy, dog. Y'all reverse bias fans, aka detractors, aka panderers, y'all need to take notes, man, because he knows the sport is always giving lessons, dog. So that's why I say get the notepads and get the notepads out and get to the damn scribbling. It's really that simple. Now folks are understanding. Terence Crawford doesn't want free smoke, dog. I don't know how many times I had to tell you guys this, dog. But as the ultimate truth teller and the ultimate cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truth teller there is, I had to get you guys to understand it. I knew you would come along at some point. I knew you would have figured it out at some point. I knew your brains would have jarred, and then the truth thereof would have came out of your brains at some point. Now, guess what? Terence Crawford is not what you guys thought that he was. And now they turn it on Danny Garcia. That's going to be another video, dog. You know why? Because when you give a cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat, truth-telling message, guess what eventually is going to happen? Regardless how much you pander, regardless how much you're a reverse bias fan, regardless how much of a detractor you are, you have to out with the damn truth. It's really that simple. And what y'all learned about Terence Crawford is if he does not take the Shawn Porter fight, he is everything that he knows the sport said that he was. A Chihuahua barking behind the damn fence. This is He Knows the Sport. Checking out.